Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel. In this week's video, I'm going to be doing an oracle card reading with my new oracle card deck that I just got, and I'm really excited to use it. So in this week's video, I'm going to be doing an oracle card reading for December energies, any like key themes, collective themes, energetic themes for December. This is my first time actually using this deck. Oh, I kind of love that. There's like a little invocation in the box. Now, I might read, when I pull the cards, I might read the interpretation. In the book, I might just not. So we'll see what happens. Got my stone here. It's gonna go there. I don't need this. All right. What do we need to know for December? So in terms of numerology, December is actually 3-month, and if you haven't heard of numerology, it is the study of numbers. It's basically like all numbers have meaning, and when you add all the numbers up together, like for example 2025, you add up all those numbers individually, individual digits, it equals 9. And so we're in a collective 9-year, and in numerology there are 9-year cycles. So 2026 will be year 1. 2026 equals 10 equals 1. So you add all the numbers up together until you get a single digit. That's the number we're working with. So for December, we're working with a 3 collectively, and 3 is all about, in my interpretation, it is really connected with the throat chakra and very connected with communication and also collaboration and celebration. So it's really like the C's: communication, celebration, collaboration. So it's very connected with those energies as well, the number 3 in terms of numerology and my interpretation. And the 9-year, we're closing at a 9-year cycle, and so there's a lot of endings, a lot of karmic endings, a lot of transformation. We are heading into a year 1, so there's a lot of beginnings happening. So it's a lot of death and rebirth energy, very phoenix energy. If there's anything that needs to close up or be revealed to you, this is the year to do that, and we are closing out this year, which is so exciting. 2025 has been a really big year for transformation, spiritual awakenings. I mean, I know that happened a lot a couple years ago, but this is the year for all of that to come to completion. It is a big year for introspection in terms of reflecting on the last 9 years, the last year in general, but the last 9 years of your life, and moving into the new year in a new 9-year cycle, in new lessons, new contracts, new fun and exciting things. So really excited to dive into this reading to see what December holds for us in terms of the 3-month collaboration, communication, and connection is coming in as well. 6 cards actually fell out. The biggest message is love, and it's not really external, it's more of like an internal thing. And so typically when we are wanting something in our life, starts with us first. So if we are wanting more love and support in our life, if that's what we are intending, it doesn't have to be romantic, it could be in any sense. It really starts with us. So it's like they're saying the message, let love in, which really starts with us. So are we willing to surrender, to open up our hearts, and to experience more joy and magic that is waiting for us, that is not waiting, I don't like that term, but that is here ready for us to experience in 2026. So it feels like December is our closing month. We are wrapping things up. We are really ready to head forward in 2026. Like, it has very much 2026 energy is what I'm picking up. It is really it's kind of like the pause before the storm, but there's no storm that's coming. It's the calm, it's the calmness, and it has underlying tones of 2026. It has underlying energies of that, and it's really a time for peace and reflection. And how are we going to move forward with all of the work that we've done in the past? If you are on a spiritual journey, if you're on a healing journey or interpersonal journey, and even if you're not, this may still this may still have resonance with you, especially if you're watching this, you feel called to watch this. December is also a time for vision. It's a time to, like, yes, we are reflecting on the year past, but we're also getting ready for the new year. And yes, I also believe in the new year in terms of spring. I do believe that the start of the zodiac sign, the start of spring is the new year as well. And the winter really closes that up, but it feels like 2026 is kind of like a fresh start for all of us. Like, it does feel like that is kind of the energy that I'm getting. It is a fresh start, and it's a time for us to plan our 2026. What is the vision we have for 2026? What is the vision we have for our future in terms of what we are intending, what we're wanting to change in our life, what we wanting to do more of? And it's not always about change. It's not always about external stuff. It could be internal as well. It's really up to you in terms of how you would like to interpret these messages. And they also want to say that you are also very much loved, guided, and protected as well. You know, I work a lot with angels because I work with an energy healing called Ahai, and Ahai works at the seventh dimension, which in the seventh dimension there is the angelic realm, the Akashic realm. I work with the Akashic records as well, and so I'm very much in the seventh dimension. That is where I like to hang out. That is my feels like home. And so I use terms like angels and things like that. I've been seeing angels since I was 3 years old in my bedroom, and I've always really connected with the angels. And so to me, the word angel is not a religious term, it's just a term for these beings in these higher dimensions. And so you can change up that word to however feels most resonant for you. If that word's not resonating with you, you can change it to spirit guide or spirit or source or however you'd like to interpret that as well. But they're basically saying, the angels are basically saying they are always with you if you would like. If you would like to ask for their help and their support, they are here to guide us, and they're saying that you are always loved, and they always ask for permission for it. We have free will in terms of who we choose to interact with in terms of the spirit world, and so the angels are here. They're always with us and wanting to communicate and protecting us, of course, in with consent. They just need consent. You know, they're always here and with us and willing to work with us. And so they just wanted to remind everyone of that as well, that they're always there. These are the two messages: guardian angel, you're not alone, and faith, cloak of protection. So that's kind of why I'm bringing that in, why I wanted to mention that, because they just kind of wanted to mention that as like a side note. It's really interesting. I pulled the Archangel Gabriel card, and Archangel Gabriel is known for, in my personal experience, he's known for communication. And I used to call upon him a lot for communication and healing my throat chakra and opening up and feeling heard and feeling seen. And I can understand for sure why this author put, heal the child within for Archangel Gabriel. And that's the card. So I'm just going to show the card. Angel Gabriel, it's a beautiful being on the front. And, it's really interesting. I used to call upon Archangel Gabriel a lot for throat chakra and communication and healing my throat chakra and clearing it out and feeling heard and seen. It's very connected with inner child, because depending on your childhood experience, it's just important to feel heard and seen, especially as a child. And, we can do a lot of practices to reparent our inner child and reparent ourselves. And in terms of feeling heard and seen and speaking our truth, speaking our voice, and that's really important to note and to say, but it really feels like December feels like a really playful energy. And, I feel like they always have this underlying message. I don't know if I share this a lot, but to me it feels like it comes through a lot of like playfulness, divine childlike wonder. And so your inner child is the version of you when you were younger, when you were a kid, and your divine child is the child within you now. And so the child within you now can be connected to your inner child for sure, because it's a past version of them. Like, your inner child is a past version of your divine child that's within you now, and your divine child that's within you now could be different in different interests, different likes, different passions, that kind of thing. But your inner child is really like your creativity, your passion, your excitement, your goofiness, your silliness. It's really the version of you that is your most, it's your true self, it's your soul self, it's your soul at its core, is kind of how I see the divine child. And we can hold different frequencies within us, right? Divine masculine, divine feminine, divine mother, divine father, divine child, right? We can hold all of these different energies within us. And it's really important to look at the divine child and do inner child healing, yes, but what heals your inner child, one of the things that can heal your inner child is honoring the divine child within you now, right? So doing something fun. Like, I'm just gonna use examples for myself that I think is fun. Playing in the snow. I don't like the cold, but playing in the snow, going skating, watching Harry Potter, watching Marvel, communicating with my spirit guides, pulling cards, working with my pendulum, crystals, going to a crystal shop, hanging out with friends, family, coffee. It's just enjoyable. It's just like enjoyable, fun things. But also, like, I like to laugh. I feel very connected with my inner child, with my divine child, because I love to laugh. I love to be goofy and silly and roll on the floor, have floor time, and just kind of, I have my stuffies over here, my pig. And so I just find it really fun. And like for example, I find this really fun. I got this during Halloween. It's just a skull. I find it fun. Like, so it's just things that bring you joy and happiness. And it's also taking a look at like when you walk into a store and you see something that's like, oh, that's like for a child, but like I would secretly really love this, but I'm an adult, so I'm gonna stick with the thing that looks most elegant and sleek. And like that could be your vibe too. That could be fun for you too. I'm just using that as an example for me because I don't like that. I don't like the classic elegant look sometimes, but I like the very like fun, funky kind of creative vibe. And so when I'm going to a store and if I'm shopping for something specific, that's kind of the theme I'm looking for. And so I'm not gonna conform into what I think an adult would buy just because of age. Like, I feel like that's very silly, if that makes sense. So it feels like December has this really playful energy, and we can play into this. We can hone in on that playful energy, that childlike energy. It's very like fairy-like, very elemental-like. The elementals are very playful and mischievous, and I got reminded of that recently. I used to love working with the elementals, the fairies, the dragons, the all that fantasy realm, and like I love the fantasy realm. I really, really love that, and I got reminded of that today of like just playing into that just childlike wonder. And it feels like December really is rich with that energy of just like taking a break from everything, from the year, from everything that life has thrown at us, all of the lessons and evolution and expansion and all the stuff that we go through as a human, and taking a step back from that just to breathe and to go into December in a neutral energy of just observing, reflecting on the past year, reflecting on the last 9 years if you feel called to, and just kind of be and play. And what do you want to do this weekend, or what do you want to do? How do you want to play, and how do you want to indulge in your divine child? It could be like sitting down and watching a movie with some popcorn and some snacks or treats, or having a movie night, or going out with some friends, or however it is that you enjoy or allow your divine child to really take over. It feels like there's something in there. There's something in there for you. And that really allows a lot of healing. If that's your intention, it doesn't have to be. But I'm just saying, from in terms of how the reading feels, it feels like a breath of fresh air is kind of what it feels like. A lot of cards going on here. So I had this card here. I had this card and I didn't read this card in the first part of the reading because it didn't really feel connected. Like, it didn't feel connected to the other cards, so I was just gonna leave it. But when I picked up the card deck and was shuffling for the second time, the second part to the card fell out. And they're not, I mean, they're not connected at all. They're two separate cards. You can read them separately, but it really felt like the one was part one of a message and I didn't have the full message. So I just kind of felt like, okay, well, I'm gonna not read into that because I only have half the message, I only have half the package. So I wasn't gonna read it. And then this card fell and I go, oh, there we go. There's part two to that message. So now I can read the cards because it feels more complete. They wanted to start with, in terms of this message, now a lot of other cards fell out and I'm just gonna we're gonna close up those cards. And they're saying, I don't want this video to be that long, but basically they're saying, in terms of like, for lack of better words and terms, in terms of good deeds, we talk about karmic loops and things like that, and being a good person. It is all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of like it has this energy of, I don't know if someone's been saying this lately, let me know in the comments down below, but it's kind of like good deeds don't get unnoticed. That's what they're saying, right? We putting out good energy into the world, we're going to receive that back. is what they're saying. And I understand sometimes we can be interpreting in our perspective of we're not receiving it back. I get it. And at the same time, it is coming from energy of, taking a look at what the energy is underneath of that. If you're feeling that way, for me personally, I had to take a look at myself and like, why am I feeling this way? And what is the energy underneath of that? The energy underneath of that is expecting energy. Is I'm gonna do a good deed so that because I expect something in return. And so, that's not really the energy to come from. In my personal experience, it's my personal journey. It's taking a look at, okay, well, I understand that that's not in vibrational resonance with divine love, is to be, I'm only going to be doing this good thing because I know that karma will send it back to me. It's not so much that, it is, just knowing and trusting, hey, I want to be a good person. And so this is who I'm embodying as my true authentic self, my true authenticity, my true authentic self, and that's just gonna attract in more abundance. And it's just trusting that, period. And so the second part of the card says, be the change you seek. And so it's really embodying your truth, embodying your divine self, your divine soul, and what is it your soul actually wants? What is it your soul actually feels happy with? And if we want a better world, it does start with us. We are more powerful than we think. And I've heard a lot of people over the years, in my life, we hear this and sometimes, I'm sure I'm not the only one, of like, I'm only one person. Can't make that much of a difference. Yes, it does. Because of the ripple effect. If you were not here, if you did not exist, just thinking about the ripple effect of that, it's you just existing and being you, your most authentic self, is the divine plan, is divinely orchestrated. It is beautiful. And the ripple effect of that allows others to be their most authentic self and their highest version of themselves and experience joy and happiness and life. And you just being you and existing and operating from your authentic self and truth and love has an incredible domino effect. And I know this firsthand. I've seen it. It's really incredible. It's one thing to say that, it's one thing to embody it and believe it and trust that is the case. And it's really abundance mindset versus lack mindset. It's like just trusting that the universe will always support you in whatever form it comes in. It doesn't have to be a specific form. Sometimes we can get too attached to certain outcomes and how certain things are going to look and what kind of abundance, what type of abundance comes in for us. But that's a whole other conversation. But they're just saying to be the change you seek, and however you'd like to interpret that. So I love this star being. I knew it. They look like an alien, and on the back of the card it says star being. I love that, written in the stars. I feel like the being is more of the message than the back of the card. Trust your spiritual vision. Bring peace where you can. Bring peace where you can is really coincided with the message that I had before. And I'm just going to leave it at that. It doesn't feel like I need to go into that any further. I feel like whoever's listening, you're going to receive your own intuitive messages with this reading as well. Trust your spiritual vision is really the same thing as saying trust yourself, trust your soul. Trust your intuition and your authentic truth, because this came up recently. It's really interesting. I kind of forgot what I was going to say. When we ask questions, typically the answer is within the question, and typically we have, or either the answer is in the question or we already know the answer to the question. When we ask a question, we typically already know the answer. Was that an orb or a dust particle? It's not a bug. I don't have bugs in my room, but it's either a dust particle or an orb. I have to play that back. Anyways, I was gonna say they showed me a dog. They showed me a dog when I asked if there was anything else I need to know. I don't really know what that means. It was kind of like a medium-ish sized dog. It was brown, like a lighter-ish brown, but not golden, not blonde. It was brown. Oh, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below if that resonates with you at all. Does feel complete. It feels complete for today. And so thank you so much for watching this week's video. And I'd love to do more of these oracle readings. I am going to be doing one for 2026 for sure, which I'm very, very excited about. So that will be coming out at the end of December. So definitely look out for that. And I'll be doing a few other videos for December in terms of like holiday themed, and another one, I think. Let me know in the comment section down below if any part of this reading resonated with you at all. If not, no worries, just leave it. And if you liked this video, if you enjoy this type of content, definitely leave a like and hit the subscribe button. Definitely helps me out. I appreciate it so much. I also have a group Ahai energy healing session booked for December. So I believe it is December 14th. So if you want to sign up for a group Ahai energy healing session, it is at a lower cost. It is only $33 if you'd like to sign up. I will leave the link down below so you can check it out if you feel called to. I also offer one-on-one Ahai energy healing sessions and newly Akashic record readings. So I used to do Akashic record readings in the past, and now I'm opening up my Akashic record readings again. So if you would like to book an Akashic record reading with me, I will leave the link will also be down below. So definitely check that out. And my Instagram. So all of my updates, everything's going to be on Instagram. So definitely follow me on there, connect with me on there. And I'll see y'all again in December. Bye!